there's the anticipation screen. I cannot wait. So much anticipation right now. You don't even know. Oh, no, you do know, actually, because you're here casting it.
Man. Life versus Huck.
All right. Here we go. We still do have one match after this, ladies and gentlemen, to go. So we're not sure what that is offhand, but
We're still trying for an NOS Scarlet.
I was about to say, that's what we're fighting for. So
We are fighting for it, guys. Like, if it's not us, it'll be someone else, I'm sure. Like, it better be, right?
yeah, that one better be straight.
Or we'll quit. We'll put that down. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. I am done with IPL. Now, down here in the bottom left-hand corner of Cloud Kingdom, we have our blue Protoss player from EGRC. It is Huck. His opponent here in the upper right-hand corner, up 1-0 in this best of 3. Reigning GSL Codes champion, it's Startail Life.
I want to see a game 3, man. I want Huck to be able to do really well this game.
Dude, I want to see 3-game sets. Like, I want to see epic 3-game sets the whole way. I want this to go down as the best tournament in history.
Except for Violet's games. Where
well, no, clearly, it's just 2-0. That's going to make for a boring finals, I have to say.
Oh, man.
I do really hope, though. I mean, still, my favorite game I probably ever casted was Stefano versus Kiwikaki back at IPL 3. That ridiculous 50-minute game. So much fun, and we can only hope for games like that every time.
I think so, too. Hopefully this will be one of those. Well, we always hope it'll be one of those games.
What I loved during that game compared to games nowadays, though, especially in late-game PvZ, is like at that time we were like, he's making a fleet beacon!
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? We're going to see a mothership! It could even be carriers! Like,
No one does this. It's such a bad build.
and now it's like he's on 4 base. Where's the fleet beacon? Like, why isn't he going for a mothership yet? So
It's only still on 2 base. Where's the mothership? Why isn't it here?
well, spawning pool first out of Startail Life, no real surprise. I think it was a 14 pool that time. I may be wrong, but he did decide to go for a 15 pool in game number 1, so a little bit different here. And Huck just building his pylon up at the front, no real surprise.
Looks like it's going to be the same sort of thing from Huck and Nexus first. Maybe he'll be a little bit like if we watched in Abyssal City, he fully walled off, and here's the block with the probe. That's beautiful. Like, he's still going to be able to get his Nexus down at the time. And, you know, here he's even going to have enough minerals now to throw down a pylon if he wants to. So that's kind of a nice thing here that Huck's doing. He's kind of improved, I guess, from last game, right? More in focus.
That was a 17-second delay on that hatchery. I mean, that's exactly what you want to do. I mean, that's close to an extra inject that's now behind. That's an additional production cycle that's not utilized. So again, those very small things that you can do really set top-level players apart and can make a big difference as the game goes along.
For sure. And Huck going for Forge first, which is interesting. You could hypothetically go for a Gateway and then a Forge, but this is kind of a little bit safer, especially when there is actually, is that 6 Zerglings on the way?
It is just 4, so I think that's all he has, yeah.
All right, so 4 Zerglings. The reason it's even possible to do a Gateway first instead of doing the Forge first is because you can do a wall right here. And Huck's going to have to do the wall even with this, where he's going to have to throw in a pylon right now to fully block this off.
And, wow, this is a bit risky. He's actually just going to block it with a probe, and that allows the Zerglings to get on by. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He had to put down the pylon there. And now, unfortunately, these Zerglings are running directly into the probes. And now the probes, they're pulled off the line. This is all just lost mining time.
Yeah, lost mining time. Even more than that, it's lost kind of production time. Like, he wants to be throwing down his Cybercore right now, but, I mean, he's not. He has to focus on these Zerglings. He wants to be maybe even making a Zealot here, doing a lot of things, but he has to be focusing on this micro, and even then they still have 3 in the main now.
So all that time that we were talking about that he made up by actually killing his opponents, or preventing the hatchery from going up for a while, and that's actually a lost probe on top of it, so workers are being killed too, has just now been totally negated by the fact that his cybernetic score was actually about like 40 or 50 seconds behind.
Yeah, even more workers are going down here.
Wow, okay, so Life has actually done a pretty good amount of damage, and he's just kind of swung back that favor in this game. So he's allowed to do whatever he wants, and I wonder if he's going to take that opportunity to be a little bit more greedy with his drones. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you look at it from the production's point of view as well here, the cybernetics core isn't even done yet. And that's something that usually is done by this time, so it removes a lot of threats of like 7-gate. It even slightly removes the threat of those 4 Phoenix showing up early. They're not going to be a bit delayed. So sometimes what the Zerg can do is take gas later. Life isn't. Life's taking it just at the same standard 44, 43 supply, which is really nice of him. But he did have the option to take it later if he wanted to.
Yeah, but not going to play that super greedy drone game. Some players have been choosing to go for that pretty much in any circumstances and have actually found some pretty decent success. And still, the Zergling is pulling more probes off the line. Every time they're ducking away, that's another 5 or 10 minerals that's lost, and that more than makes up for the cost of the Zergling. So Huck finally stabilizes now. His warp gate technology is on the way. He's delayed his +1 weapons, and now come the structures. Just a robotics facility for now.
All right, so maybe we're going to see some sort of... I don't know. I was going to say some sort of timing with that, but that seems like almost a too late robotics facility to do any sort of mortal all-in. I think just it's going to be an expansion build from Huck.
All right. Well, we'll see what he ends up moving into here in just a bit. We start to see that sentry production here anytime soon, and it is. He's just unfortunately really supply blocked. Yeah, putting up 3 supply depots at the same time. And Life is actually just going to move on through here. He kills 1 probe, gets past the photon cannon. He's taken the losses of a few Zerglings, yes, but he's continuing to just disrupt his opponent's mining once again. Gets a perfect scout.
Yeah, this is like, if you think your Overlord Scout isn't that good, well, just do a 6 Zergling Scout.
Perfect. All right, you know, he does kill 1 more probe on top of that, like we mentioned. He's killed a total of 4 so far.
Perfect already lost to Life, though.
Oh, you did go there.
I did.
Let's see here, and okay, so Huck's now starting to put his pylon outside of his main. This pylon is going to power a couple of gateways, which can actually close off the space next to the destructible debris perfectly, if he so desires. May even feign at that for a bit, as he does have gateways 2 through 5 coming up at the same time, along with Immortals, along with that Twilight Council. Yeah. Oh, never mind. Cancels the Immortal, goes to a Warp Prism.
Huh. Interesting.
So from here, I mean, he has a couple of different possibilities. His Sentry production, he stopped at 2, and he's not made anything else for a while.
It's not going to be an Immortal Sentry, and I don't think it can be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he would have made a few more. Well, I'll actually just picks off that the Overlord that was hanging above. He's got to watch out here, because these Zerglings will more than happily bait out all of this energy to take out a couple of sentries with them. That's a pretty big loss for Huck. A big round of Speedling's going to make its way through. Not going to be able to break down the front door, but they've done their damage killing 3 sentries.
For sure. A really important thing here was Life did get the same gas timing as normal. That's why he has these Speedlings here to be able to harass and to scout, and Huck is just delayed because of that early sort of lost timing with the Zerglings getting in.
Yeah.
So, other than losing all these Zerglings here for no reason...
Yeah, they're all on hold position right now.
Really beautiful.
Okay, so a little bit thrown away there. He could have easily gotten away with those units. And it does look like we're going to have a bit of an expansion here, as he can start by bunkering this up, then eventually make his way over here.
So scared. 2 cannons being produced there. It's almost like a 2-base defensive all-in. You really can't do that, I don't think, either.
No, I mean, he doesn't have the Immortals right now to support this. He's got his first one on the way. He could warp in some units with this Warp Prism, but, you know, Life has given out quite a bit of damage here, and if he doesn't take any in return, or only takes a little bit in return, he's going to be able to punish his opponent with these Roaches, too.
Yep, and if you look at it, I guess to say if you look at it too much, but the Zerg here has all 6 gas up, and they're all running. And that's something that you generally don't have if you're doing this sort of roach link thing. Generally you have to do it with maybe 4 gas or 2 gas because you're trying to have a whole bunch of minerals extra. But this is Life, you know, saying I'm just pretending to put like serious pressure on. And Huck needs to realize that it's not like the game-ending or potentially pressure of only a 4-gas Zerg, and he needs to be taking his 3rd here because now the Zerg's already going to his 4th base.
But look how long this has delayed this for. I mean, he's still doing a little bit of damage. These units are expendable. If he takes out sentries and he delays the 3rd base, that's all he wants to do with this.
Yeah.
So all of the sentries are dead now, which is just remarkable. I'm surprised he's actually done that much damage. So Life has gained himself a big advantage because now he's sitting on a 4th. He's going to be up to 7 and 8 gas here momentarily. He's already started pretty good infestor production, so his gas count was really good. His creep spread is great. He's going to have the potential to just outright deny this base with creep spread here in a second. Really, everything is hitting for Life, and Huck needs to make something happen.
Yeah, and I think again the reason he hasn't been able to take that 3rd is because he lost those sentries right away. Just losing 3 sentries and their potential energy just can't really happen unless you have Immortals, and you didn't have Immortals either. Life just is reading it really, really well. There was some harassment, I believe, at the 2nd base with that Warp Prism, maybe during that fight.
Oh, yeah. My apologies. So, yeah, it looks like 2 workers were killed, but
yeah,
not all that
not
much.
A tremendous amount of difference. He did have to pull all his workers away, but
right.
Even then.
And looks like he's already long distance mining this new base. He's already got the gas ready. So now Life is on 8 gas. He's on many fully saturated bases.
Upgrades.
I know, man. I mean, this is we don't want to be that guy that signs the death warrant for Huck early, but
it's not death.
He's got to make something happen.
Oh,
yeah.
Like Protoss, especially if they get really good positions and they can get into some new tech, like he has those immortals that aren't firing in the back. If he can live and just get up to a maxed army, anything's possible with Protoss, especially if he can get that mothership.
Exactly. If he sits on this 3rd base even, he's going to be in a pretty good spot. He's got it well defended. We mentioned before that he was playing pretty scared up at the front, but those photon cannons are going to be able to stop any counterattacks, or at least delay them long enough to get units in position. So then he's actually in a good spot. And now's kind of his moment to catch up, because Life is moving up into Greater Spire. He's eventually going to... he's actually not started Hive yet, which I'm a little bit surprised, but...
He's going to stay on Infestor and Corruptor, and just try and do something with that, because he'll have 4 bases. He thinks that if he gets enough Infestors up, he's just going to trade Infested Terrans and Corruptors for the Colossus, and then from there he can just be fine.
Unfortunately, Huck having a little bit of an issue with his computer. Sorry about that.
We might want to pause it, actually, for them. Do you think that's the correct way to do it?
Let's see here. We'll go ahead and ask that real quick.
We're more than happy if they have an FPS issue. We can fix that, I'm sure.
Okay, so it looks like he says that he's not going to be able to fix it now. So, all right, we'll keep.
That's all we can do.
Right, I know. That's we are referees, so we can't pause the game. But yep, we'll try to do anything that's within our power to do so. But 6 Corruptors are popping up here. None on the field yet. Those are going to be the first ones. Hive Tech is on the way, but now, I mean, Life has just not been touched. He's still got this. Even though this base was cleared out for a second, it's sitting just fine. He's fully saturated on 4 bases. His gas income is ridiculous. Huck now, though, does have a pretty defensive spot. With the units that Life has on the field, it's going to be very difficult to try and push through this position. If Huck gets caught out in the middle of the map, though, that's a different story.
Yeah, Huck just now getting Blink, just now getting, I think, +3. He might do some sort of timing here, but Life, I feel, with all these Infestors, with all these Corruptors, his army composition can hold for sure, I think, if done well. And especially throwing up all these spines. His Hive was late. Remember how he looked? And I thought he was going to be trading that Infested Terran energy and those Corruptors for the Colossus. He's not actually doing that. Maybe he's doing that right now, but he needs, I feel, to be doing that. Otherwise, they're just going to... It's just... He should have the Greater Spire earlier, I guess is all I'm saying. It's still not that bad.
He was going for Greater Spire, if he wasn't just planning to do the Corruptor Infestor Terran trade like you were saying. Because now he's in the position where if he doesn't trade equitably, then Huck can do some economic damage to him.
Yeah, and this army from Huck is really, really strong. There are no Broodlords out. The upgrades here, I think, are on Huck's favor. I think he's 3-0, to, a 1-2... Zerg, this could be the attack he needs, especially if there's 40 FPS from both players. You never know what can happen then.
All right, well, he's going to start sieging up this position. He's caught in a little bit of a choke point. A fungal growth does hit up in the front. However, all the units are swinging around from the side. Life gets a lot of those caught off, and he's trying to attack up at the front at the same time. The Colossi have actually stood in there and done some pretty good damage. Now they're finally eliminated, and the Immortals are starting to get picked off one by one, but the Blink Stalkers just have not been touched. They're cleaning up the entire left side of the fight, while the right side of the fight really stabilizes in Huck's favor. No, he's not been able to make his way through the spine crawler wall or hit the amount of infestors that are on the field, but he has the ability now to start putting on some pressure. Oh, nope. There it goes. GG. He's going to give it up. He's not even going to do it. Life takes out Huck, and we have a 2-0. Huck actually going to be sent down to the lower bracket.
Very, very, very well played by Life.
Yeah, so there we have it, guys.